All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Jen716 back here again, and today an exciting win for the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team, winning over Kansas State 77-74. The winning streak continues. I believe that this is now a 5-game winning streak for the Tide ever since, or either a 4-game or a 5-game winning streak since they beat Auburn. And this was a game that I expected us to win. I expected Nate Oates to get this team motivated, especially because after this game, that's where you really start to get to the grind of your schedule, right? You got LSU, you got the Tennessees of the world, you got Florida. You got a tough schedule ahead of us, right? You got a tough schedule ahead of this team, and so Kansas State, this was the last game, and Kansas State's not a good team. Let's just be frank. They're very competitive, but they're not a good basketball team this year. So, overall wise, we shot better than them. We made more plays. We made more plays as far as scoring. As far as having the better playmakers, we were the more talented team. We had, again, Carl Lewis and John Petty Jr. Phenomenal job what those guys did today, especially Carl Lewis. I feel like he's honestly our best player. You can make an argument that John Petty is. Some will say he is, but we had the better playmakers today. The difference, again, the score was very, very close, but we got bodied. I'm just going to say this right here, guys. We got absolutely bodied as far as getting down low and grabbing the offensive boards, grabbing the defensive boards. We did not do a good job rebounding in this game today. Again, we shot better than them. It wasn't close. Kansas State can shoot, right? They shot lower than 40% from the field. They shot around 33%, which is okay, but we shot better from the three than them. Again, we had the better players. This was a game that we were supposed to win, but the difference of why the score was 77-74 was because they just had the boards. And then we started getting a little sloppy. We started turning over the ball, especially in transitions. So we started to get a little sloppy in that aspect. Now, it wasn't as bad like Missouri was when we had 25 turnovers. And we lowered that number to 16, so we cleaned up the turnovers a little bit, but we got a little bit sloppy in transition a little bit. Again, Carl Lewis, as good of a game as he had 4 turnovers, and he could have had a lot more this game. We got to clean up the turnovers. Again, especially when we get deep down to your schedule, we got to clean it. We got to clean it up. We got to capitalize on the possessions that we got. Again, we had a lot more opportunities. Carl Lewis had 4 steals. Shackelford was poking the ball loose. John Petty Jr. did a great job defending, and I think he had a couple steals or 3 steals, but we didn't capitalize a lot on the opportunities, on the turnovers that we had. Now, ultimately, we won the game, but again, the biggest reason why I think Kansas State was in it was because they simply just bodied us down low. Now, I said in the Missouri game was that although I love the effort from our guards as far as getting boards, it's a little bit of a concern. We look at some of the bigger guys like Jones out there, some of the bigger guys that we have in our team, and they're not grabbing as many offensive and defensive boards as our guards. That's a little bit of a concern, and it showed this game. Kansas State had way more rebounds than us. They boxed us in a lot. They just out-physicaled us a lot, and they got the ball a lot more than we did. Again, 45 rebounds compared to our 22, that's insane. The fact that we only had 2 offensive rebounds and they had 22 offensive boards, that is absolutely that's insane. That can't happen. That simply just can't happen. We need to do a better job of grabbing the offensive boards. We need to do a good job as far as boxing out the opponent so we can get more defensive rebounds. We just need to do a better job in the rebounding category as well. So that primarily was the biggest concern in today's game, was the fact that they destroyed us in the rebounding category. Besides that, Carl Lewis did his thing. We saw Shackelford. He was able to make some plays. Jones was able to make some plays. Our bench was able to make a little bit of plays again. But for the most part, John Petty and Carl Lewis, man, those guys completely dominated this game. Petty didn't have the greatest game in the world, but Carl Lewis stepped up. Again, shot 8 for 8 in his free throws. He was 8 for 12 from the field, so he shot pretty much 50% from the field. So Carl Lewis took this game by hand. So that's one of the things that if you're an Alabama fan, you got to be excited for the future, is the fact that you have playmakers that can score 20 or 30, that can score 20 on any given night. Any given night or day, you know that one of these two playmakers that we have on our team, Carl Lewis or John Petty, those guys are going to get you one of those guys can get you a 20 piece. So we have two really, really good playmakers that potentially could go to the NBA next year, which I hope not, because I feel like honestly our team is one more year away for potentially competing, not for a championship, but potentially competing for the SEC championship potentially. And I'm still a believer in Nate Oates. I believe in this. I believe in him because I've seen it. I've seen him do it at UB. So overall wise, a win's a win. That's pretty much all I can say. A win is a win. We are now 12-7, and we are now in SEC play. We are now in the conversation for tournament talks. And even though we're going to be in the tougher part of our schedule. The fact that we're 12-7, the fact that we have momentum now on a winning streak, now going to a very, very tough to play against a very, very tough LSU basketball team, including Alabama's own Trenton Warford, who is, in my opinion, their LSU's best player, a player that we could have had. Oh, God, just thinking about it makes me sick. But anyway, it's going to be a tough game. So we need to be more prepared. We need to win or at least compete in the rebounding area. Again, LSU's a phenomenal rebounding team. Trenton Warford is a guy that can get you 7-8 boards a game. We need to be better in that category. We need to be a lot better. Our forwards need to step up here, and we need to be a lot better. But overall wise, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. Alabama wins its 4th or 5th game of the season. They're 12-7. Hopefully they can keep the ball going, and hopefully we can extend it to 13 wins, and a lot more teams can take us a lot more seriously. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for viewing the channel. This is Jan716. Roll Tide. I'm out.